it's Sarah Jane from Cards and a Cuppa, and I'm here with this week's 12 weeks of crafty Christmas makes video. In this video I'm going to share with you a box to fit your Scentsy Wax bars in. I've got a couple of these to give away this Christmas myself, so I thought it was a perfect opportunity. And on this one I've used sleigh ride edgelets, but I'm going to do something a bit different on the one I make today. So let's get started. Now I'm going to use Holly Jolly Greetings, and I'm going to do it on a smoky slate card. Obviously I'm going to share with you the centimetres and inches box both at the same time, but right at the end when it comes to assembling there's a slight change up with the inches box, so I'll tell you that when we get to it anyway. But they do come together a little bit differently because of the card size. So I'll show you how to do how the measurements go first of all though. So I'm going to stamp the card before I score anything, because I just want to stamp all over, and I'm using the large snowflake from Holly Jolly Greetings, and then I'm going to use the speckle and star piece as well. But first of all, in smoky slate ink I'm going to stamp the star, or the snowflake rather, all over the card.
Lean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say.
So obviously I've got quite a lot of plain space there, and I don't want to do more smoky slate in the middle bits, so I'm going to use Versamark, which will just make a paler infill for the snowflakes. I'm not joining them up, I'm not trying to get an all over coverage, but I just want to fill up some of the larger blank spaces.
This Eve is coming soon. Now are you, dear old man? Whisper what you'll bring to me. Tell me if...
So as the Versamark dries, it will show up more. It's quite pale here, but you can see on this one that I've already done, it sort of pops out a little bit more as you leave it. So that's that finished. To start with, along the short edge you're going to cut at 15 centimetres or 6 inches. Don't throw this away, you're going to need this piece in a minute. Now flip it round and you're going to score at 3 centimetres, or 1 1/4 inches, 14.5 centimetres or 5 3/4 inch, 17.5 centimetres or 7 inches, and then you're going to cut at 29 centimetres, or if you're working in 8.5 by 11, that will give you 11 inches, which is the full width of your paper. So flip it round, move your cutting blade to the bottom, and then score again at 3 centimetres, which is 1 1/4 inch, and 12 centimetres, which is 4 3/4 inch. So that's that bit done. So on this small piece on the long side you're going to score at 3 centimetres or 1 1/4 inches, 12 centimetres or 4 3/4 inch, and then cut at 15 centimetres or 6 inches. Flip it round, and then along the short side you're going to score at 3 centimetres or 1 1/4 inch. At this point you need to mark which you've scored, which edge you've scored 1 1/4 inches or 3 centimetres down from. So just put a little arrow, that'll be the top, so that you know, because this is slightly larger. This is actually about only about 3 millimeters, only about they're probably 1/8 of an inch larger, but it does make a difference when you assemble your box. So that's your scoring done. Now you're going to need your bone folder, and you're going to reinforce all of your lines.
When the clock is striking 12, when I'm fast asleep, down the chimney broad and black, with your pack you'll creep all the stockings.
And now you're just going to cut in on each of these score lines into the long score line.
You will find hanging in a row. Mine will be the shortest one. You'll be sure to know.
So on the small piece, you're going to cut in on both the inches and the centimetre to the centre, to the lines, the same as on the larger box. On the centimetre one only, you're going to cut away the bottom. Remember how you marked the top? So you're going to cut away the bottom. On the inches one, do not cut this away. Now this is where the centimetres and inches changes. So if you're working in inches, wait a bit and I'll give you the thumbs up. But if you're working in centimetres, this one's for you. So you're just going to punch a little small, a small oval from this part here, which is the one with the first 3 centimetre score line. See, this end hasn't got a small piece on it, so this end here, and then you're going to glue all this together to form your box. So this is your lid. Now here is the top, which is going to be the end piece. So you're just going to glue this bottom section of the extra piece so that it lines up with the edge of this larger box, and then glue each of the flaps to the sides. And then these 2 centre flaps are going to get glued to the base, which is this, and that's the lid because it's got the cutout. And there's your box in centimetres. So here's the inches part. Thumbs up for you. So this is where, if you're using 8.5 by 11 inch card, the assembly of this box differs. So you're going to use this end piece here. Because your card is only 11 inches, it needs to be 11.5 inches for the base of the card to fit the wax in. So you're going to take your card with the small piece of card, and then you're going to slide it under the edge, keeping this end lined up here, and slide it under the edge until your score line is on 11.5 inches. Make sure these score lines line up too, and then just take your pencil and just mark down the centre. This just makes it a bit easier. So cut the card at the side flaps like I said, and then you're going to glue right the way across. Slide it in, and then because you've done a pencil line, it's a lot easier to line it up now using the line. Double check it on your grid paper as well. to make sure, but it's a bit tricky to see where you want it lined up, so I found it easier just to do the pencil line. Okay, and then all you're going to do is assemble the rest of the box just like the other one. So we're back to the same method as before. So you can get away with punching this once this box is assembled, but it is just that bit easier. But the box is big enough that you can get away with it if you forget, so don't panic. And there is your box made in inches and 1 in centimetre. So I'm going to decorate these the same, and I'm using the Perfect Pines framelits. And I've used the medium tree and cut out a silver glimmer paper tree, and then the Christmas Greetings Thinlits dies for a sentiment. So I'm just going to simply stick the trees onto the box. Using a bit of Tombow. And then using the fine tip glue pen, I'm just going to add the words jolly and merry to the bottom of the boxes.
Johnny wants a pair of skates, Susie wants a sled, Nellie wants a storybook, one she hasn't read. Now I think I'll leave to you what to give a rest. Choose for me.
And there we have 2 boxes, 1 in centimetres and 1 in inches, that perfectly fit your Scentsy wax bars in. So I hope you've enjoyed this week's tutorial, and don't forget there are lots of other weeks to go and look at on my blog or my YouTube channel, so don't forget to hop over there and have a little look. And thanks for stopping by today.
Dear Santa Claus,